Hey everyone! Welcome back to a new video. How is it going? Hope you're all doing great. Today I want to show you something a little different. My ink sketchbook. Yay! Yep, this is a sketchbook I've been filling entirely with ink drawings. And since it's been raining a lot lately, I've spent more time on it. I'm actually getting pretty close to finishing it. I think I have a little less than half left, so I thought it would be fun to go through it and share my experience using it. Now, this sketchbook is different from my usual ones. Normally, I focus a lot on making pages look nice and cohesive, considering things like composition, color harmony, and making everything visually appealing. This one is purely for practice. I didn't go in with the mindset of creating beautiful pages, and I didn't overthink the compositions. Instead, I just dove straight into inking, focusing on improving my line work, perspective, and overall confidence with a pen. And honestly, it's been so freeing. I use this sketchbook for a bit of everything, practicing geometry, perspective, sketching random objects, and just experimenting. Recently, I've been doing a lot of perspective exercises, so you'll see plenty of boxes, cylinders, and other shapes rotated in different angles. It might not be the most exciting thing to look at, but trust me, it's super helpful for understanding depth and structure in drawing. So why ink? The main reason I choose to work directly in ink is that it forces me to think before I draw. And this was a game changer for me. I realized that a lot of times I draw without thinking, which is fine in some cases. Sometimes it's fun to just sketch freely without worrying about precision. But then, when I look back at my drawings, I noticed that a lot of my anatomy and perspective were way off. And that's because I wasn't being intentional with my lines. I was just going with the flow. So to improve, I started this ink-only sketchbook. Because here's the thing, ink doesn't forgive mistakes. Once you put down a line, that's it. There's no going back, and that forces you to be much more mindful about every stroke. Of course, you could try to fix mistakes by drawing over them, but most of the time it just ends up looking messy. So in a way, this sketchbook trained me to be more precise and intentional with my lines. And honestly, I feel like it helped me improve so much. I actually started this sketchbook last January, but I still haven't finished it because I took a long break from it after summer. But now I really want to go back and complete it because I can see the progress I've made, and that's really motivating. So, using references versus drawing from imagination. Now, most of the drawings in this sketchbook are copied from reference photos. Especially the more detailed ones. The only things I've drawn from imagination are the perspective studies like boxes and simple shapes. Everything else was referenced because for this sketchbook I wasn't focusing on being creative. I was focusing on building confidence with the lines and understanding their structure. That's something I realized over time. It's totally fine to use references, especially when you're practicing. There's this idea that real artists draw everything from imagination, but honestly, even the best artists use references all the time. The key is to learn from them, rather than just copying mindlessly. That's why, even when using a reference, I always try to think about why I'm placing a line in a certain spot, instead of just copying the image without thinking. The whole reason I even started this sketchbook was because of a video I watched from Janus Gerast art. Sorry if I'm saying it wrongly. He's a concept artist for video games and films, and he made a video called 20-week drawing training plan. In this video, he breaks down a step-by-step training plan to improve your drawing skills over 20 weeks. It includes things like perspective exercises, anatomy studies, and just a structured way to improve efficiently. He also emphasizes drawing directly in ink, which really resonates with me. So I thought, why not give it a try? And I did. Well, kind of. I wasn't super consistent with it, and eventually I felt off the routine. But even in the short time I follow it, I learned so much. So honestly, I think I should go back to it and try again. At first, I thought the exercises would be really boring, especially because the first few weeks are just drawing boxes. And I was like, really? Just boxes? But when I actually sat down to do it, I was shocked. I realized that I couldn't even draw a simple box correctly from multiple angles. I tried to sketch one, look at it, and I think, why does this look so weird? And it made me realize that my spatial understanding needed way more practice than I thought. And even though it was just boxes, I actually started enjoying the process. It felt like solving a puzzle, figuring out the right angles, trying to rotate objects in my mind, and getting things to look right. So yeah, if you're struggling with perspective, or if you just want to improve your line confidence, I highly recommend checking out this video. Anyway, that's all for today's video. I know this sketchbook isn't as colorful as my usual ones, but I still wanted to share it because I think it's been a really valuable experience. It helped me improve my inking, understanding perspective better, and train my brain to think before putting down lines. So I hope you find this interesting. If you did, let me know in the comments. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next time. Bye bye!